Hi, Cliff Clover, Watson Realty, back again in the studio with Gary DeCellis, president of Watson Title Services, joining me, answering a lot of title questions, a lot of things that affect my buyers, both domestically and foreign. The next topic we're going to be dealing with right now is 1031 exchanges. This is going to be dealing with a lot of domestic investors. Is that right, Gary?
That's correct.
So, can you explain what a 1031 exchange is and how it affects somebody?
Sure. The 1031 exchange is for an investor on a piece of property that they own that they want to sell. What the 1031 does is it defers the payment of capital gains tax down the road. So if you are a seller who has an investment piece of property, you can do the 1031 exchange by selling this property, deferring the tax, finding a replacement property for it, purchase that replacement property with the proceeds from the sale. And what you're doing is you're basically deferring the payment of the capital gains tax down the road.
Fantastic. Now, when you say another type of property, what if I have a commercial building that's got 300 offices in it, and now I want to go buy my my little holiday home in Florida? Now what?
You can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
no restrictions.
No restrictions. There are certain things, but I would suggest that you look into the 1031 exchange. There is a company that we deal with. It's called OREXCO, which is Old Republic Exchange Company. Their website is OREXCO. That's OREXCO.com. A lot of great information on that website regarding 1031 exchanges and how it works, the change of properties, how you can exchange one property for another. Great site to go to.
Okay. So any other issues that maybe a buyer or seller would be dealing with? Now, I can tell you from the real estate perspective that you need to have that disclosure prior to closing your property, letting the buyer know or seller know that this is a 1031 exchange, correct?
That is correct. It needs to be on the contract for sale and purchase as an acknowledgement to the buyer that the seller is performing this service. It doesn't really affect the buyer in any way, but it just needs to be disclosed.
Okay, so here's another question that I have. I've had another guy that an investor wanted to sell. He wanted to do a 1031 exchange, but he wanted to take a proceed of his money, keep it, and then try to buy something else. What happens there?
If the seller touches any part of the proceeds from the sale of the property, that part of the proceeds is subject to capital gains tax.
Right. Okay. So again, it's either going to be a like for like, or so that money can't be taxed on.
That's correct. Now keep in mind, the seller cannot touch any of the proceeds. That's why a 1031 exchange company, which is called an intermediary, is required in this situation. The money from the sale of the property gets transferred to the intermediary. The intermediary holds the money until the replacement property is found and closed on.
How long do they have?
120 days normally, from the time of the sale to the time of the closing on the new property.
To locate or to close?
I think it's 90 days to, I'm not quite sure. I think it's 90 days to find a new property, and then 120 days from the date of closing to the closing on the replacement property. Okay.
So let's say that the next property is actually more expensive. So let's say that they're making $100,000 profit off of their sale, and the next property that they're buying is $200,000. There's no penalties in moving that $100,000 over to a more expensive property?
None at all. Okay. As long as the total proceeds is shifted from one property to the other, there's no tax paid.
Okay, and let's reverse the situation. So let's say that they made $100,000. They're buying a property now for $90,000. So that $10,000 difference now will be subject to a tax, correct?
That is correct. Or they can buy two properties, take the extra $10,000 and apply it towards the second property. So it can be multiple purchases.
That's very powerful stuff. So if you want to go ahead and create some tax shelter for you or your situation for your investments, you want to call Gary. You definitely want to go to the websites that are necessary to give you the correct information. Of course, feel free to give Gary a call. Gary, what's the best number to give you a call for regarding 1031 investor exchanges?
Our number is 407-645-1310.
Okay, and your website?
Our website is WatsonTitleServices.com.
Okay, and I'm going to provide that link below, guys, so you can can go ahead and contact Watson Title Services. And again, I'm happy to provide, and I'll also get the other link for the other company, 1031 Exchange Company, provided as well. And if you have any questions, you see an investment property that you're interested in, and you'd like to do a 1031 exchange, please feel free to give me a call direct, 321-229-5890, or you can keep searching for properties direct online at cliffclover.com. You made a great choice at allowing me to help you along your education guidelines for your real estate needs. And again, we're going to be talking with Gary in another video here coming up in how we deal with short sales. So short sales is a big part of our business right now. You don't want to miss this interview. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.